Good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Donna Mitchell, the host of Pivoting to Web3 podcast. And today I have Brigette Callahan. And Brigette Callahan, I think I'm going to let her introduce herself because her slides are just overwhelming. They are so professional. And she used to work for the big boys. And she used to design for the big boys with her business, Xerox and Samsung and PayPal. Am I saying that right, Brigette? Tell us about your past. I don't want to misquote. Did I miss anything there? Because you have some presentations that I've never seen before, and they are outstanding. I'm so glad we met. Let us know what you do and how you do it. Who are you?
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I just love our friendship, and it's been great, when we first met and stuff. I mean, there's so many things that we're doing together that align. It's really great to kind of share there's some things that you might not know about me. I've been a graphic designer all my adult life. I knew I wanted to be an artist since I was a zygote. I only got one laugh from a doctor because he knew what a zygote was. But, I got a degree in art in college. And my second job out of college, my first job was as a graphic artist, but the second job was working at a multimedia company where I learned slide design because they don't teach it in school.
Nope.
They don't teach slide design in school, even today. And so when I learned it and saw how effective it is on screen in live events and stuff, and then, years later, I left that company and went to other companies, but I would always work these live events and I would see 90% of all the slides that are shown are really horrible. They're not well thought out. They're not thinking of the audience and how they're taking in information. They're really just the speaker's cheat notes. And I think we all can agree, we've seen all those bullets and they're reading it to us. And, every once in a while they might show a video or a graphic, but I believe that all slideshows should be like a Hollywood movie. And so I create amazing PowerPoints that don't look like slides. People have even asked, what template are you using? Or where did you get those slides? Because it was so compelling and engaging. They leaned forward, they listened, they learned more, and they appreciated this talk that they just heard was time well spent. And I'm telling you, from the back of the room, when I've been in live events, watching speakers drone on and show these poor slides that's, mirroring their company or what they do, and what a poor reflection of their brilliance is, right? I was like, wow, we're wasting all these people's time. If you had 1,000 people in the audience and you were speaking for 60 minutes, that's, 1,000 hours of time you've wasted.
Yeah, they could be a real drag because I've seen some of your slides. Now, let me ask you this, and I'm going to paint the picture really well for our audience because they really need to understand what we're talking about. These are not the regular PowerPoints. These are not the slides that you see in your conferences, conventions. These slides are made for the upper end, high end professional C-suite organizations and leaders, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're really going for the big buck client or the high end dollar client, these are the type of slides you want to present. This is why, because when I came out of retirement, as you all know recently, I noticed that these slides were not looking like anything I was used to. They are exciting. Everything moves, and her pictures, her images are so engaging that the audience, you can't help but understand and be receptive to the information. So how do you get those pictures? How do you get everything moving? What are you doing that we're not really saying? What's the secret sauce?
Well, it's funny. It's a secret sauce in a way, because I didn't know it until I learned it. And I learned it at that multimedia company because we were creating videos and we were creating multimedia, multi-image shows is what they called them back then. This was before computers. And so we started with a script. The script had to be written before anything else, just like a Hollywood movie. Mm-hmm. You can't turn a camera on before the script is written. And then you can't even do storyboards until the script is written. You can't do a voiceover or music bed without the script written. So the script is the first thing. So that's your talk, right? That's your outline.
Right.
And then you can go and start visualizing, okay, what am I saying here? If I was watching a Hollywood movie, what would show up on screen? And that's what I would do. I would do like my old art director would do. He'd listen to the soundtrack and do this in his head, and he'd see these images and he'd start drawing. And it was just like fascinating to watch him work.
But your images are doing more than that right now. I hear you using AI. That's where I want to go to. She's using AI, everybody. I'm trying to get for us how she's using that AI in there with everything that she does. How did you end up using AI or getting in the AI space in today's environment?
It was never an end up. It was I need this now. When AI came out, it was like when the computer came out. To me, I knew the computer was going to completely transform the way we do graphics. And I saw AI is completely transforming the way we do marketing, the way we do anything, really. Like you can pull up a ChatGPT and say, what should I cook for dinner tonight? This is what I have in my fridge.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
So it makes your job so much easier. It makes your life so much easier. It's like this constant buddy that you have with you all the time. And so with AI in graphics, I've actually even created a whole slide deck in ChatGPT, just telling them, I want to do a talk about this. I want it to be this long. And they write it. And I was like, oh, that's a great script. Okay, now I want you to outline the script. Tell me the slide numbers in one column, the script in the middle column, and the last column, I want you to tell me what image to put on the slide. And it would do that. And I go, those are great ideas. And so from there, then I have my outline of what should be on the slide. Then I can go into like Midjourney and create a prompt of a visual that they can create for me. Now, I don't do a lot of AI for slides. I still pull a lot of great images from image banks and stuff. And it's really an art of finding those images because we've been doing it for 30 years. And we know how to find good images that aren't too expensive, but just really pull in the audience like that Hollywood movie.
So when you utilize the AI in your slides and you select the images, how do you manipulate the images or get the images that you're really searching for? Can you give us some details on how to work through that, or how to get them to look so extraordinary or unique or something so out of this world? Like if you wanted to put a boat in a bottle, you can figure out how to put a boat in a bottle or a light bulb. How does that happen?
Exactly what you just said. You just want to, you want to put it in a prompt, like you're telling the computer, this is what I want. I want a scene of a ship at sea and the ocean is frenetic, right? And it's a storm and it's inside a glass bottle that's sitting on a table and there's fireflies flying around the opening. Whatever you want to do, you describe the look and feel. And you also want to describe the tone. You can describe the aspect ratio. Like, I want a 16:9 because it's going to be for a slide. You want to tell it, what kind of camera are you using? What kind of lens are you using? What kind of f-stop are you using? Yes, you can get so granular. And so what I do, because I'm not a photographer, I took photography. I didn't major in it, but I took photography and I used to develop film, color film. So I understand the old process, but I couldn't tell you what f-lens or f-stop to use. So you go into other people's prompts and you look at what they wrote. If you see an image in Midjourney, the prompts are there. You say, wow, how'd they do this image? And some of them are really simple, but some of them are so intricate. It could be 2 paragraphs long of what they're describing. They're describing late afternoon, sunset. It's about 6 p.m. in Nebraska or something,
Really? They get that detailed.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you learn to do it? How did you know what to do? How did that piece meet where at one point you weren't using AI, you were using regular old locate the images, manipulate, change, filter, tone. And then how did you pivot or start knowing that you need to utilize AI or pick up the pace or get more creative? What was the aha moment?
Well, I'm in a mastermind, and the women that lead it started this new section of the mastermind called the AI Experts Club. And this was like in March, I think. And I said, sign me up. And in there, they were teaching us how to write prompts. They were sharing their prompt. They're like recipes. They're sharing their recipes. And then they say, you could go online and buy these. You can go to Etsy and buy a list of prompts. And I was like, you can? And so I did that. $19 for this like 5,000 prompts. And then I saw another one for like $17 that was different. And I bought both of them. It was the same exact prompts. So Etsy, right? They're making money. They're not thinking you're comparing. But shoot, they're just selling prompts that they probably got from someone else, but they're making money on it because they know how to market. So it's in those prompts that you learn how to communicate. And I tell people, if you're into programming, if you're like a good programmer, you'd be great at writing prompts because you know how to communicate to a computer. And that's basically what you're doing. But you're really talking plain English. You don't even have to spell it correctly and they'll do fine. but it's kind of like this visual description of what's going to go on the slide. And that's why I love ChatGPT to tell me what should be on the slide. And then now I'm learning how ChatGPT can write Midjourney prompts.
So what else have you learned with Midjourney, ChatGPT? You decided to get some additional education with the group. So are you using any other softwares or language models or anything? Have you experimented with anyone else?
Yeah, my goal is to learn what's out there. And in fact, so I joined another program that they just started called AI Consultant Certification. So there are companies out there that will hire AI consultants to tell them what to do, or to help them write prompts, or to maybe show them a workflow so that they can start doing it. And the people that taught me, they're getting so many requests, they can't handle it anymore. So they're going to pass it down to us. And what I love about it is getting on that cutting edge, before everyone else can jump on, and learning it and being able to talk about it. And to me, I get excited because I want to go out and speak about it, and how AI can help like marketing departments and graphic design departments. A lot of our programs that we use in graphic design, all the Adobe products now have AI built in. Microsoft PowerPoint and other Microsoft programs have AI built in, but how do you use it? And it fascinates me why people are afraid. And, they think like, these Hollywood movies where zombies are going to come and get you. It's like, really, have we ever really seen a zombie in real life? Come on.
Well, that's true, because my question to you is, it sounds like to me you've already experienced the fact where you've seen a different change on how the process is happening, but you're also seeing new positions being created that can be utilized in organizations. So if it does displace any positions, which it might, would you agree to that based on what you've observed in learning AI, bringing it into the creative role of slides and presentations, that there is a possibility some positions could get displaced, but it improves efficiencies? Would you say? What do you think about that aspect of it? What do you think overall?
I think if you're afraid it's going to take your job, embrace AI and learn it so that you can be valuable once you've learned it. I have a friend who's in the AI consultants program as well, and she wants to learn machine learning. She wants to work with machine learning for fabric. And she's been in that industry forever. So she's focusing on that. Whereas I'm focusing on the graphic design and the marketing. And I'm telling you, marketing is so much easier now, because to write a sales letter, to write a landing page, to write a whole website, you could have a whole website written in 10 minutes based on, like, let's say you have copy already written, but it needs to be refreshed or updated. I have all the prompts that can rewrite that copy so it's emotionally messaged, so it pulls you in. So it's like your audience feels like you're talking right to them, and they're leaning forward. It's like, well, how do I get a hold of you? Oh, here, so they're pulled in, and they're emotionally saying, yes, I agree with that. And when they're nodding yes, they're going to say yes to the sale. That's what's really exciting me.
So with your experience, has there been anything that you can think of that's concerned you, that you said, I didn't know it could do that. Boy, hope nobody gets a hold of that?
No, and I have a friend who does similar work to me, but he's higher level and he's more deep into it. And he's seen the dark side and he understands the dark side. And there is a dark side. I'm not saying it isn't. It's not something I want to study and learn because I'm not afraid of it. It's just like I could sit here all day and be afraid of an atom bomb, but what's that going to do for me? Right?
You're right, Bridget. Like me, I said, let me just embrace Web3, figure out what's going on and roll with it. I mean,
there is a dark side. There's things that can happen. I'm not well versed to talk about it, and I really don't want to focus on it because there's so much good that can be done. Imagine they're saying that AI is even better than when the iPhone came out. You're going to look back 50 years from now and when AI came out and how it just catapulted us, right? And so if that's the case, what's going to happen to cancer? What's going to happen to illnesses? What's going to happen with how we communicate with people that we don't speak our language, but we still can get along? Yes, new problems will arise. Of course, it's life. But embracing this new technology, just, I'm so giddy. You can tell I can't
I
stop
know
talking.
you're excited about it. That's why I thought about you for the podcast. I was like, AI, I haven't really delved into that part yet too much, especially from the presentation standpoint, something basic before you get into the big Web3 projects and what's doing with NFTs and DAOs and DeFi and everything else. Let's just talk about what everybody else is talking about today. And that's the AI. So when you look at AI and you look at how you've embraced it, has it really improved your outcomes in your business? Because you're a great businesswoman. You're very strategic. You make sound decisions. I've observed you. So where have you really seen it make the biggest difference or efficiencies in your business practice?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited about AI. I was in ChatGPT too long today and it kicked me out. I didn't know there was a limit. And a friend of mine, her husband looked it up and says, you can't be in there more than 3 hours, or you can't do 25 prompts or something like that. I was like, oh, I didn't know I had to monitor that, but I could use it all day. And there were 2 letters I had to write that was really hard for me because it was like an apology and let's move forward. And I wasn't sure how to write it, and I didn't want to make them wrong, like they did something wrong. And I just went to ChatGPT. Can you rewrite this letter so it shows my confidence in wanting to work with them, and apologize for, being a little behind, and not make them wrong? Because in the letter, we kind of wrote something like, well, we were expecting this from you and we didn't get it. So that's a make wrong. Can you say it in a way that doesn't make them wrong? And they did it. And when I hit enter for them to start thinking about it, they had almost the whole letter was written in 3 seconds.
Wow. So that would save a lot of time. If you don't embrace AI or anything else that's happening in Web3, you might get left behind for sure. Content and efficiency and speed is definitely going to be at the forefront. So have you had a chance to use any other Web3 technology besides the AI right now?
I'm not sure what other Web3 technology would that be, or would that be just other forms of AI?
There's other technology in the blockchain space, DeFi or anything else in NFT. So you're in with everyone else on the forefront of the cutting edge of AI and bringing that into your business. You're not looking any further yet, so I get it. I want to look at the blockchain and all the stuff that would take place for the major projects, and that's another reason why I thought you would be great for today's episode. So tell me this. So what's your wish list in AI? What do you want to see that you haven't seen yet that you're saying, if it can do this, I wonder if it can do that. Or maybe in time it will do this and that. What is that going to be?
Well, I'm going to throw out a couple ideas out here, and I hope someone invents it. First of all, I wish someone would invent a handheld mic that's also a clicker. Because if you have a clicker in one hand and a mic in the other, it's ridiculous. So please take that and invent it for me, will you? Put my name on it. Another one is, I just had it.
Heard it first here. Everybody heard it first here. That's Bridget's idea.
I have all kinds of ideas. I don't need to hide them. I'm not afraid of them. There's other people that are inventors, let them deal with it. But when you give an idea out, you share an idea with someone, new ideas come. If you hold back and don't share it with people, you're not going to get new ideas. And my mom taught me that. So with how AI works and how it's going to save time and just make us work so much faster and communicate so much better, and even learn how to communicate. It's really all you're doing is learning how to write prompts. So when people opens up their email and now their email has AI, they don't know how to use it. And yet it's as simple as Google. I was really good at Google and finding stuff because I knew how to write long-tailed searches, and people didn't know what that meant. It's just be more detailed, what you're looking for. I'm looking for a picture of a man shaving. How about I'm looking for a Hispanic man shaving, and he's got a rustic beard, and he's about 45 years old, and he's looking in the mirror. That's a long-tailed search. Same thing in AI when you're explaining something, or if you're writing an email, like I told you, writing that email, I said, I don't want to make wrong. I want them to know that I love collaborating with them and I'm excited about working on this project. And when they wrote it, both my art director and I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, there's no way I could have written this. No way. And I'm going to use it right away.
So did you change anything? Did you modify it, or did you just send it out as is? Or did you think you needed to modify it to make it yours and embrace it?
No, I didn't have to, because I told them to do it in my tone. When you know what your tone is and you train them, it's in your tone. So really, I just changed 2 words because they use the same word twice. And I thought it sounded weird. So we just changed one word, But I'm telling you, it's that fast.
So slow down. Tell us how you trained it to be in your tone. Let's step back. Remember, we're not doing this every day. You are. So how did you tell it to be in your tone? How did you figure out your tone, and how did you create the tone so it would know what tone to put it in?
Well, you can do like famous writers. Can you write this like Shakespeare? I mean, seriously, you could get a letter written it looks like it was written by Shakespeare, or you can name another writer. You can name famous writers today, or you could put in about 10 minutes of you talking from a video or a script, and it'll get your tone. So you put it in there, and then you say, what is my tone for speaking? And they'll tell you, oh, you're engaging, you're forthcoming, whatever it is, right? But they now record your tone. And there is this thing in ChatGPT where in the beginning you could put in some scripts ahead of time that's always in ChatGPT. And this is with other AI programs too. If you start a string, it's not going to be linked to another string. So if last week you put in your tone in another string, it's not going to remember that. So there's a way to keep it in the same string so it remembers what you said, and then just go back to that string next week. It says, write me an email for this, use the same tone, but add a little humor. Oh my God, when they add humor, it's just brilliant.
So when you say same string, are you talking about where it says chat and you just keep building in that same chat so it's above, and you could say based on the above or that tone or
you don't
that
even have
letter?
to say that. You don't have to say based on the above because it knows.
That same string, when you call it the string in that chat, it's where you started doing the other research and queries and everything. Don't start a new area.
Yeah.
For those that may not have used ChatGPT, I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
Somebody
So it's like a brain. It's like you're loading the brain up with a style or a tone. So early on, I saw this guy giving a 3-day summit training on ChatGPT, and it was a very small group, like 12 people. And I think there was only one other woman, the rest were men. And usually I'm in rooms where they're mostly women. So it was interesting to me. And he had us on, I think the third day, he had us create our doppelganger, or, who we are as AI, like a robot. And he said, put in your Myers-Briggs, put in, whatever else you have. I couldn't remember my Myers-Briggs, those other, personality tests. I could only remember my mind types from Ridgely Goldsboro. And I could remember my human design, which is the new astrology.
Okay.
So I grabbed my human design, pasted it in there. I told him what my mind type was and explained a little bit about what it was. And I put in a couple other things like my age, what I'm interested in, blah, 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 all this stuff, about a paragraph and a half, and tell me who I am. And they rewrote it. It's like, wow. It's like I'm looking in the mirror. It says, okay, well, who's my ideal male partner? If I were to find my ideal partner, who would he be?
Now that sounds really interesting.
They wrote it. I fell in love.
Really?
I fell in love with this profile. So then I said, okay, can you write me a Match.com profile? And it wrote it. And immediately I posted it, because for 9 months I couldn't get on Match.com, or I was on it, but I just couldn't post because I didn't know what to say about myself.
Right.
So talk about freedom and falling in love with yourself,
But did you fall in love when anybody find you and fall in love back? Did you find the guy?
Not yet, but I'm not giving up. I'm on there, and it's nice. But here's the thing. I got past a block that was huge for me of not even posting. I'd pay for it, but I would just go look, and maybe I'd send an email here and there, but I wasn't excited about it. Online dating's a challenge. I think there's different ways that online dating can happen. And I think there's new ways they're exploring. And I rather meet them in person or on the phone so they can get to know me and my voice. I want to know them. I want to know more about what they think. And you really don't get that in a written profile. But, to write a profile based on your doppelganger, so to speak, that was a huge breakthrough for me. And when I shared it, because we were in small groups, I shared it with these men, and these men are like, really?
I think this is a good idea. And a lot of people listening to this podcast right now, they're going to, instead of taking away how to use AI in their business, they're going to take away how to use AI in a dating app.
Or in your love life. Like, what if you're having an argument? What if you've had this 3-day argument and you don't know how to get out of it? ChatGPT could be your counselor. How do I solve a problem with them thinking they're right and I'm thinking I'm right, and we can't come to an agreement? If you put that in there, it will give you some insights. I did that. Really? I was having a struggle with a person I worked with, and I was dumbfounded. I didn't know how to solve it. And I put it in there, and it was like, oh, yeah, I'll give that a try.
See, now I see why we became friends, because I would have never thought of that, but you did. So,
Well, it could do anything. It
yeah, I
really
never would have
could.
thought of that.
You can make a whole movie just by talking into an AI and telling what the movie's about and telling who the actors are. And now they can create digital actors. That's why Hollywood's so scared with AI working, because movies can be created just that easily. And there's actually software that does that. So is that the dark side of AI, or is that just another form of artistic expression? I mean, we'll never not give up on human, right?
Right.
We don't like the sound of a computer. We will be so good at distinguishing what is AI and what is real.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, will there be, fakes, deep fakes and stuff? Of course. But, that's where intuition comes and it's like, really? Really? You have to trust yourself enough to know you're not going to get duped.
So what else did you try with ChatGPT? I find it's really intriguing that you thought to do that. So what else did you try? I'm curious. I know we all want to know. What else did you do?
Well, there's a ton of AI programs out there that make slides. And this kind of upset me because is this going to take my job away, right? And so I've been playing with them. And some of them are pretty cool. Like someone could go in there, have them write the script, tell them what it's about, have them write it, have them edit it, whatever, and then create the slides, the images for it. I know a woman who signed up to do a project on Upwork. And they said, we're going to pay $1,700. We need a slideshow by midnight. Here's the script. She spent an hour and submitted it and they accepted it. So she made $1,700 in 1 hour.
Get out of here.
So when you know what you're doing and you know what they need and you can communicate that, that's what I'm talking about, turning it around. What I don't like about the AI slides is they're very similar to the slides we see now, the drones, all the bullets. The images are nicer. And you could get more creative with the images, but it still, to me, doesn't have that Hollywood effect. I'm going to probably have some future trainings to see how can you turn these AI programs in to get that Hollywood effect,
Yeah, because when I first saw your slides, they really did look like you were looking at a motion picture. Everything was so professional. The transitions, just everything, the sharpness, the saturation, just everything, content. And I was just really shocked and surprised. I had heard about it, but when I had took one of your early masterminds or classes, I found that to be very intriguing. So it sounds to me that you're saying there's a lot of software that's out there and you've been able to play around with it all. So therefore, everything that's happening out in California with the deep fakes and being able to create the movies without the artists, without the human being, is very true. So therefore, anybody can really create a movie and, like you said, get paid $1,700 and do an hour. But I'm curious to know, when you feed that content, is it like a complete script of the conversation, the actress, the tone? How detailed do you get with that?
I haven't gone as deep to understand it, but it's got to be similar to any kind of prompting. If you're going to say Michelle, the actress, is going to be 28 and she's got blonde hair and blue eyes and she's, looks like a model. So they're going to have to go that deep into it. But
scene and the character and what they are and how they roll and what they say and their flavor, and then do the script, and then it'll all tie together. I could see how that could happen. Boy,
well, and here's the thing too. I mean, everyone has a video camera now with their phones, and video cameras have been out since the late 80s, early 90s. But Hollywood still makes the best movies, right?
Best quality. That's true.
So it's giving us the ability to do things that we couldn't do before, like Hollywood does, but we're never going to compete with Hollywood. Trust me. We're never going to compete with those storytellers that write scripts. We're just not. And that, that's why I love what they're doing. And for them to not necessarily embrace AI, but know that it's this fellow partner that can even help you take your work further. Because utilizing it, like, we get writer's block, we get creative block. How can we break through that? With AI, I mean, I'm able to write a prompt that I couldn't even start the letter. And here I have a full letter I could send someone right now, and I'm done, and I'm not stuck anymore. So AI is like the internet, where you can get a ton of information, but when creative enough and you're strategic enough, to get what you're really looking for and ask for it, that's the art right there. It's the art is in the prompting.
I think what you have just said is very important because a lot of people are going back and forth on if it's copyright or you're abusing the copyright or different things and in the writing. And I still see some creativity to it. I think there are opportunities for everyone, even those that if the tone and approach is in there from their previous bestsellers and their content, as long as everyone's getting credit and everyone has the creativity, I think there's a lot of value to it. I'm sure there's going to be some governance and controls down the line, but right now everybody's going for it. And there seems to be some wonderful, wonderful creativity, contributions, efficiency, production, the process. There's such a quality of impact so far. A lot of the technologies that I've been either reviewing, talking to people about, or just trying to understand and grow with. So tell us, how can we reach you? How can they reach you? What do you want to share that you haven't had a chance to give us?
Well, I'm in a private Facebook group. It's called the AI Experts Club, and it's from the Little Sisters, Lyttle. They are awesome. And I just wanted to show you a little bit about what they're showing in here. Like, these are all AI images that were created, and usually using Midjourney. And here's some other ones here. But I mean, they're just showing examples of what they've done. That movies can be created, videos. All this is done with AI. I'm trying to find. I mean, look at this.
Oh, look at that digital.
Isn't this gorgeous?
Yeah, it is.
So it's a certain style of design. This is considered like a logo. Look at that.
I like that shoe.
I know, really good. You want a pair? But the reflection and everything, I mean, to create this in 3D rendering would take probably 9 hours. And here it was probably created in like 2 minutes. I love this stuff. This woman is brilliant with her images of powerful women and, what they're wearing and stuff. And she's actually selling these images to get them printed on large canvases and stuff.
Wow.
And there's some people in here that are, these are all AI images. If I can click on them, look how beautiful that is.
That is beautiful.
Look at the intricacies of the dress and the jewelry and stuff like that. The glasses, the skin, the hair detail is amazing. And then there's other ones here.
The textures and the games look awesome.
I know. And these are AI generated. These aren't actual models. Okay. But can you imagine the slides you can create when you're creating scenes or something like that to get some realistic stuff like that? I mean, these are t-shirts where you could put a logo on the t-shirts, it's just amazing stuff. So I wanted to show you, this is what the people are up to in learning and sharing with us inside the Experts Club. It's really, you're only limited by your imagination. And when you go into Midjourney and you see what they're doing there, it's just like, I could spend 6 hours in a rabbit hole just perusing through Midjourney. I love this. Look at this.
That's pretty.
The rings, the lighting, afternoon sun coming through a window, stained glass window or something like that. And then here's some lions and then a woman that looks like a lion. That's pretty cool.
So as long as you can communicate clearly and write, you can do the prompts and get what you really want. Yep. Visually.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So all us visual learners out there, this is the way to go.
Well, look at this. This is for, a massage studio and, some post for social media and just a logo, nice logo, happy fall. I mean, this is not a photo. This is generated in AI. So you would think photographers are going to lose their job. No, photographers can get on there and start describing these photos that look so real and look so great that they're easy to use. When digital photography first came out, people were thinking, classical film's going away.
Check out the 3 legs.
I know, that's the problem. I was surprised, but this one is not so much better. Anyone else? So yeah, they do have problems with arms and legs. I was doing a speaker on stage from the behind because I wanted to see her back and I wanted to see the audience's faces. And so she had her mic in one hand and then she was using her other hand to gesture. No. She had her hand on her hip. She had her other hand to gesture. And then she had a third hand holding the mic.
Wow.
I'm like, so you got to be careful. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And there's no way to fix it right now. It's just one of those anomalies.
That'll probably happen down the line. where you can make
Yeah.
you have 3 legs and they'll have something else whether you can take it off and fix it or move it around.
This animation was created in AI.
That is
You
so
know,
cool.
it really is. It's like really the sky's the limit on what you can create. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of, what's inside, that I'm getting inspired about. But there's so much out there. If you just Google Midjourney graphics or Midjourney images, you'll find a boatload of stuff. In fact, let me just do it really quick. I use Midjourney. That's kind of like the major one.
A lot of
Midjourney
people's using Midjourney and they're very happy with it. Midjourney is on Discord.
So all I did was type in Midjourney images and look at this. This is just, I mean, it's like eye candy, and some people are into the science fiction. Some people, are into faces, fantasy. I mean, this is cool
Wow.
stuff.
That's really cool.
Look at all this. And then you click on one and then you kind of see similar ones, that's related to it. So this is how actually we use to find images for slides. We find inspiration by using Google this way. These dogs are all AI generated, but look how real they look. The hair, the mouth, the teeth. It's phenomenal how they get animals. I love this little kitty, but it's a cyber kitty.
Yeah, it
you
is
see
a
that?
cyber kitty. That's cute.
But look how
That is
cute
kind
it
of cute.
is.
And I don't like cats. I shouldn't say that.
I like cats. But
I'm a
again,
dog
look at
person.
the eyes. I mean, this could be a painting, right? But
Right.
to generate this in 3 minutes, something like that. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I was an airbrush artist early in my career. And to do airbrushing takes a long time because it's a lot of masking. It's a lot of knowing how to, mix your colors and the brush and stuff. And when I saw this, I just got so excited because it's like, it's airbrushing, but I don't have to do the 9 hours of stuff. So as a creative director, I can have the ideas and then I can make them a reality just by creating a prompt, So go out there, check things out, enjoy this journey. It's amazing what you can do. Like here's a bunch of faces, they're described as a certain tone or mood or whatever, right? Some of these will even print the prompt so you can see, well, what did they say to get this? And some of these can look like actual actors.
Right.
I've seen
And
some
they do look
Kim
very
Kardashian
similar. And
photos.
yeah, they do seem like they're in that same genre or some space and place where they're kind of similar. It's amazing. They look so real.
Any one of these could be a painting, that you could hang on your wall or something if you really liked the expression and whatever. It's just so rich with art that's coming out there. And there's a lot of artists, visual artists that they're getting replaced. And it's like, no, your tools are getting better. Your brain cannot think of things like a computer can. And all these movies where the computer's smarter than us, that's just movies, For the most part, yes, there's a dark web, but it's not going to overtake anything. I don't believe that. And if it does and we all die, okay, so we die. I'm not gonna worry about it.
It concerns me a little bit. I take life very seriously, but at the end of the day, you're right. There's a very positive way to look at the AI versus living in fear or worried about it or what's going to happen or the dark side. Basically,
Yes.
I think the way you said the tools are getting better. I just see a lot of positive for the technology that's coming along. And I'm really glad that you shared all of this. You got some more to share, don't you?
I'm just jumping into
Yeah, jumping
my
into something else. Go ahead.
Discord. This is my Discord. Okay. So
Tell me about Discord. I don't get on Discord.
I know, but Midjourney runs on Discord, so I use it.
But
But
this is the
like
server
these are
you were
all
telling me about, right?
yeah. So these are, different, they call them paintovers or in the world or blend showcase. This is where you could see. So this person, if I click on it, I could see it bigger. Okay. And this is the prompt: Bard, D&D, classic character art, NPC art, wealthy, accordion, lots of gold and riches. That's it. That's all they wrote. And it created this. So you could see some of the prompts. I mean, some of the prompts are really long. I'm not seeing any here. This is more like of the beginning, but still,
Right.
just this prompt here gave you this. For me, as an artist, I'm learning, how do I get it to be almost exactly what I want? Because it could be all over the place, Here's a longer prompt you could see. So you could learn prompting. Plus, you could Google prompts. How do you do Midjourney prompts? I've learned from ChatGPT that you could tell ChatGPT to write your prompts for Midjourney. That's pretty cool. It's like, so computers are talking to computers. Okay, interesting. And then BAS is Babylon Art Server. So this is my server. And so these are the things I've been playing with.
That's
Like,
pretty.
look at this
really
face.
Pretty. Yeah, that's really pretty. I like that.
And I said, create a logo for a futuristic workshop called Emotional AI is what that word says, using waves and multicolor lines reflecting off the black surface. And, so I was just playing with that and trying different things and changing it up a little bit. Cinematographic lighting. Sometimes you kind of get some weird stuff. So this
go back down. Go back down.
This one?
I didn't see that one. Yeah, I wanted to see that before you went to my favorite. You were on my way to my favorite. Yeah, that looks nice too. That's interesting on how they did that, especially the girl in the
create a
top
logo.
right.
Yeah, so this is my prompt. Create a logo for a futuristic workshop called Emotional AI, style raw, S750. So again, I'm just taking other people's prompts and kind of retooling them.
What does S750 mean?
I think it has to do with camera.
Okay.
Or f-stop or something. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Like 16:9 AR is aspect ratio. 16.
Yeah.
Style raw is a raw camera.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 750 has to be something to do with camera.
It is. Yeah. Now I'm thinking
But
about it.
I rendered
that's my favorite right there. The one you're doing right there.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
The hands are kind of weird though. I wanted her to point to the screen, but it's like she's pointing twice. That wouldn't happen.
Well, look like her hand is looking kind of cute over there. And she's trying to point like that,
I know.
Okay.
I know.
It's okay.
It doesn't do everything you want it to do. I think this was the one that I ended up using, but you could see I went through a lot.
But these are really good.
Start with a beautiful older woman, age 45, and it gave me a man. Like, what happened?
Oh. Yeah, it read something differently there, the way it was lined up.
Well, and then here's 3 women, then a man. You know what? I might have clicked on him to see variations. So I could hit V4 and it would give me variations. That's probably what happened.
So what do those numbers mean underneath since we're doing this? The U2, U2, U3, V4. What is all that mean?
So this is U1. So it's the image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. So if I wanted to redo 4, I could click on this. So it's bigger.
Okay.
Because if I click on this, it's not super big, but it's still not bad. But if I wanted this one, like I'll do U1. So if I click on it, it's just going to render it again down at the bottom probably, and just that one image. So if I go down to the bottom, see, it's bigger.
Okay.
And so when I click on it, it's like a fuller size image. So that's what you want to do when you pick the one you want to click on and then the version just gives you a different version. So if I wanted a different version of one, I just click on V1 and it would give me, I think it would give me 4 new versions based on that one.
Okay. It reminds me of a digital app for art, but it's really the location on top and the version at the bottom. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, Bridget, you gave us a lot to think about, and you definitely took some time here to give us some insights, some visuals to what you're actually doing, what you're learning with AI, and how it's impacting your presentations, your slides, and moving forward with Web3. So I'd like to thank you for joining us. Unless you have something else you want to share, girl, I'm giving you all the opportunity I can.
I could share all night, but can I share one thing about a class that's coming up?
Yeah.
This is a class that I'm teaching actually on Friday and then again in 2 weeks. So these are the dates. I call it Emotional AI Messaging Masterclass. And we're going to walk through that image I showed you, but then I put the text in through Photoshop. And I'm going to show you how to get emotional messaging into your marketing. So we're actually going to pull from a website that already exists. Like, let's say you have a website, but it's kind of dry. It doesn't really speak to the audience. We're also going to, find out who is your target audience. We're going to work out what is your target audience and get really drilled into it, and then create, whatever marketing materials. Like we could create a series of blog posts for Facebook, or we could create a series of YouTube videos that we need to shoot based on our products or services that we're doing. So we're going to go through the prompts that get you there. Okay. And I'm actually offering this class for free. So if you go, it's, I can put, I don't know how we can give them the link. I don't have a short link for it, but, if you want to get
it'll be on your page. If you put it in when you registered, you can put all your information there, what you're offering, your links and everything else, and they'll be able
Okay.
to look at it, click on it, and be able to follow up and get in contact with you. So why don't you make sure that's updated, and we'll make sure that we have it available.
Yeah. So just click on this link and you'll get the VIP upgrade with the recording and the handout. The prompts, if you want the handout of the prompts, you want to get the VIP offer. But if you don't want to pay anything, you just want to come and watch and try to play with it yourself, come do it. We're going to be demonstrating through ChatGPT. So if you have ChatGPT, you want to have it open. It's a 3-hour course. I got such, an excitement from the people that I taught the first time. It was like their jaw was on the ground. I had to okay, close your mouth. It's okay. We'll get there. I have a YouTube channel. It's Brigette Callahan. If you search that, my name is spelled with Brigeette, and then Callahan, like Dirty Harry. My website that you can reach me at is presentationdesignexpert.com. And the email is wow@presentationdesignexpert.com. So you can email me directly. You go to my website and you can see some slideshows that I've done. You can see some samples of my work. I also have a graphic design company that I do packaging and websites and stuff like that. And that parent company is babylonarts.com. And visuals just have so much meaning for me. I'm not about words. In fact, I don't think I've ever been diagnosed with dyslexia, but I just don't like reading. I write looking at visuals and movement and tastefulness and storytelling. And when I get a chance to put all that together and help someone with their presentation or with their marketing or whatever, I'm just on cloud 9.
You've taken me on cloud 9 with you, especially with the fact that you can use that app and use it on a dating app. I would have never thought to do that. So with that said, this is Brigette Callahan, my friend. I've learned so much with her and continue learning. Y'all, you can use ChatGPT to figure out who you love.
Yeah, I know, right?
Literally. So with that said, thank you so much, Brigette. I'm really so glad we could do this. And everyone, thank you for listening to Pivoting to Web3 podcast. And it has really been a blast on this episode. We've learned a lot about AI. Stay forward to us serving you, educating you, sharing information as we go forward and shape tomorrow together. So thank you so much. And this is Donna Mitchell, host of Pivoting to Web3 podcast. Thanks for listening to Pivoting to Web3 at pivotingtoweb3.com. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that it gets to you with every episode that comes out. We have lots of great opportunities, limitations, and downward spirals being revealed by our guests. And thank you in advance for all your reviews and comments. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to serving you in the next week's episode.